If you're new to the world of Bigfoot, there's one thing people often report hearing, and that is tree knocks or wood knocks. Tree knocks or wood knocks are sharp, percussive wood-on-wood sounds coming from the forest, and that's what you're about to hear in this video. Now, at the outset, let me say that I filmed all this using my smartphone, and I'm no professional filmmaker by any stretch of the imagination. There are close-ups, quick pans, zooms, zoom ins, zoom outs, that is, and a lot of nervous banter from me as I was so caught up in that moment. And, I became quite unnerved while all this was happening in real time. Also, to make these sounds audible, I raised the volume quite a bit of the background forest sounds while attempting to keep my voice at a normal level. I did all this in editing. And also, one more thing, I choose not to reveal at this time the exact location of where all this took place. Now, having said all that, let me say this. I present this to you as honestly as possible. This is just raw with minimal editing, mostly sound editing. Here's the video. Hey, I'm back over it. Can you hear that? Just got out of the car. I'm at the one bang after another. Now, it's coming from over there. Very close. Now, there's no hunting in a state park. So, between where I'm at now and the river is all park. All park property. It's all overcast, a little chilly. It's close to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. This is December 26, 2025. Just heard a pop right up the hill there on the other side of the creek. So what gives? Are there people in here hunting? Well, very creepy in here. All that, the pow 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 has stopped. And it's so close. So I'm suspecting tree knocks. And I suspect the tree knocks are being answered back. I'm going to use my cup here to point across the creek, up that hill there. I'm going to spin around. Ooh, more faint knock. I'm just going to refer to it as a knock now. So, looking for disturbance here on this path in the leaf litter. So what I'm going to do is start a new segment. It's really creepy today. Ooh. Two. Right downstream there on that creek. It sounds like tree knocks. Tree knocks. Okay, let me start the new segment. Knocks. surrounding. Not far from here. Very close. I hope you're being able to hear them as I am. I'm zoomed in as far as I can go with the camera here. Oh my goodness. A huge knock up that hill. So we've got knocks over there, and a huge knock over there. So if this is squatch activity, I'm basically surrounded. Now, I didn't hear these until I started down the path after I left my car. I don't see anything. So they're across. If it's, I'm going to say, for the sake of argument, this is squatch activity. And so and whatever is happening with squatch activity is happening on the other side of the creek. Now there could be something going on behind me. Say it is squatch activity, and I'm trying to be distracted. Or they're trying to distract me. There's got to be more than one over there. The knocks have stopped momentarily. Ooh, there was a loud one. A loud one over there. That's not gunfire, because you can hear the echo of the wood being hit. It's a different type of sound than from a gunshot. Yeah, I watch where I'm going. All right, here's this little dip. It's another one. They've resumed. They're very loud. That's banging. That's not a gunfire. That's not gunshot. That's something banging something on some wood. So I break into this video footage for a second to tell you what's upcoming over the next few seconds. Now, during the editing process of the sound, I raised the volume up, of course, to a very high level. And if you watch for this, and I would suggest headphones, at least for a few seconds, in conjunction with a knock. As soon as I say the word wow, in conjunction with a knock, I believe way off in the distance, there may be a whoop that got recorded, a vocalization. And we'll take on the subject of vocalizations at some point in the future. But so I hear this whoop, and you may hear it too, you may not. And I could be way off base with this. It may not be a whoop, but I hear a knock and a whoop right at the same time. The knock stopped for a few seconds, and then I think I'm hearing a series of whoops before the knocking resumes. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know how to interpret it, and my ears could be tricky. All right, here it is. Wow. What is that? is that? Four of them. Very close. Over in those woods, across the creek. Incidentally, it's very still out here, very quiet. No breeze and no nature sounds outside the babbling brook there. Let me pan. I'll come back. Okay. So what does it mean? I mean, that is a long series of knocks, and it's definitely tree knocks. And uphill there, up that tall hill, a real powerful knock. I guess power knocks, at least two. So something over there, and something answering it back over here, and earlier over here, up that hill, something answered it back. So something's moving around over there, no doubt. And these knocks didn't, at least in my hearing, didn't start till I got here, basically. All right, this segment's too long. All right, I'm back. Just heard another pound or bang right before I hit the record. This is something. We have traffic out there on the road. Big old pickup truck. While all this pounding's going on close by. You think about something. People are so close to Squatch activity, they don't even know it. That's the great thing about the Bigfoot in your backyard. The whole concept is these things are closer than you think they really are. Now we have hundreds of acres of deep woods here, and this is a remote area. Well, today is a good example of why they come in close, or that they can come in close, and sometimes do come in close to where you are, wherever there's a human, But this is creepy. It stopped. Now maybe that truck had something to do with it. Okay. Now I'm hearing forest floor movement. I'll put it that way. Over here. So I'm going to be quiet. Wow. So the knocking has ceased. Oh, I hope it got picked up, at least some of it. I hope I didn't talk over it. Well, I need to leave, but I'm too intrigued right now by all this to just abruptly run to the car and get out. What's that dark up there? I think that's a tree. Okay, I heard a pound up there somewhere. Wow. Didn't expect this. Given it's the holidays, you'd have perhaps very few people on this side of the park. Or perhaps there were people here earlier because it is the holidays. I don't know. People off work. This is creepy. And I'm creeped out. Oh, I'm hearing movement over there now. Sure am. Those knocks have stopped. So, a long series of knocks across the creek, way over there, across the creek, answered back over here and over here. Plus, I'm hearing some kind of vocal, very, very faint sounding. Again, there's no birds. It's still, it's quiet. No forest sounds. And I feel like I'm not alone. That's because I'm not alone. Something's out here. At least two, I would say. Maybe three. Because to hear that long series of knocks way over there being answered back up here, you got at least two of these things in here. The heck is that? Hang on. There's another knock to my right. And then now they've started back again over there. Oh, two whoops over here. These ain't woodpeckers, I tell you. Another knock. And behind me I hear a whoop. Oh, wow. A definite knock over here. So whatever's going on, they're getting in closer to where I am. This is unreal. Okay, this one's going on 7 minutes, so I'll stop this segment, start a new one. I didn't hit record, but it was, these knocks have resumed across the creek. It was 1, 2, 3, then it was boom, boom, boom. But there's something going on across the creek here. I zoomed in for the sake of the microphone, really. Well, it's just about dark. Let me head back to the car. I'll keep filming. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's wood. Okay. Just making my way back to the car. I'm zoomed in for the purpose of sound, hoping that the zoomed in will increase the capacity of the microphone to pick these things up, these sounds up. Wow. Goes another one. But there's activity in here today. Let me flip the phone back to me. Yeah, here we go. I'm still hearing it. Where's the lens? Right there. It's back there behind me. Incredible. Incredible. All right. Well, that was quite an experience that afternoon. And you may recall I said something along the lines, really just muttering to myself, what does all this mean? Well, let me take a few seconds here to cover this subject of wood knocks. So what are wood knocks anyway? Well, I covered that a little bit at the beginning of this video. But basically, in the Bigfoot world, tree knocks are described as sharp, percussive, wood-on-wood sounds heard in forested areas. Now, witnesses often describe them as
loud and hollow, like a bat hitting a tree, single knocks, double knocks, or rhythmic patterns carrying long distances through the forest, occurring in response to human movement or sound, and they're usually distinct from random cracking or falling branches.
So let's cover for a second how Bigfoot researchers interpret them. Within the Bigfoot community, tree knocks are often believed to serve one or more purposes.
Communication, signaling other Bigfoot over long distances. Territorial warnings, letting others know an area is occupied. Location awareness, tracking humans or animals moving through the forest. Curiosity or intimidation, especially when knocks occur closer or escalate. Some reports mentioned call and response knocking, where a knock is answered shortly after from another direction.
So here are a few common patterns reported. Witnesses frequently mention
knocks happening after dusk or at night. Knocks occurring when people stop moving or stop talking. Multiple knocks from different directions. A noticeable, quote, too deliberate quality. More intentional than natural noise. That, quote, intentional feel is often what stands out to experiencers.
I would be remiss if I did not mention a few skeptical explanations. Now, skeptics and wildlife experts often suggest alternative sources, such as
branches hitting trees due to wind, trees naturally cracking or popping, especially with temperature changes, animals like deer or woodpeckers, in rare cases, humans knocking wood intentionally or unintentionally. The debate usually centers on context and pattern, not just the sound itself.
Now, here are a few reasons why these knocks are so unsettling.
Now, many people say tree knocks feel unnerving because they break the normal, quote, ambient forest soundscape. They often happen when visibility is low. They can feel reactive, not random. They trigger a strong, instinctive response. Your brain says, quote, "Something's aware of me." That reaction is extremely common in first-hand reports.
So perhaps as a bit of a grounded takeaway from all this,
Tree knocks are one of the most frequently reported sounds in Bigfoot encounters, but they're also one of the most debated. For many people, it's not a single knock that convinces them. It's repetition, timing, directionality, and how it interacts with their presence. I conclude this episode with a quick follow-up. 1 week later, I was back in that same area of activity. And what I discovered on that return visit, well, let me just say, this story wasn't over.
the continuous pounding was really taking place over in that area. And I'm going to try to slowly pan to my right. And those two power knocks, as I call them, came from that area. All right. Now, wait a minute. Look at this on that bank over there. Let me zoom. It looks like pieces of bark, fresh bark, like right there on that bank. Let me zoom in. This place really intrigues me. On the way out, I'm about 75 feet from my car. There's the road out there. Okay. I look down on this path right here, only to see something unusual in the forest floor. Look at there. Okay, let me take it out of selfie. This definitely looks like a print to me. And let me take it out of selfie. Okay, here it is. Let's explore this together. Looks like the hill starts right there. A little twig right there. There's the hill. Let me see if there's a break. Mid-tarsal break. I don't know. Let me see. I'm going to pull this stuff back. Possibly right there. But what's really intriguing is this looks like definite toe definition right here. See how that ridge is right there? Something dug into it. Look at this. Look at that. That would be the big toe. Right there, of course. Where those leaves are, right there. That would be the big toe. Here's the rest of the toes. Okay, let me come up. Yeah. That's amazing. That is amazing to me. Would not be able to see anything like dermal ridges, anything like that. But I really believe that is I'll just say possible print. Again, let me do a size comparison here. That would be the heel right there. There are the toes. Incredible. So, wow. This is incredible. This is a definite definitely, this is an active area. So intriguing, and at times very frightening in here. I've been over here at times when I just had the feeling, just overwhelming feeling of being watched, All right.
Well, that wraps it up for this edition of Bigfoot in Your Backyard. Until the next video, remember, they're closer than you think.